Charlotta here, and this is the School of Pattern Cutting. And I'll help you draft your perfect wardrobe. First of all, sorry for being so absent on YouTube over the last few months. I was trying to fit everything in, life and whatnot. But I also was trying to figure out how I can actually improve my content. So it's not just drafting tutorials, but also lots of other stuff to help you draft your perfect wardrobe. So this video will be first in a series which give you more behind the scene glimpse on why I'm creating drafting videos. And this one, the first, is to celebrate my first ever drafting video with shawl collar 7 years ago. I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, I'm preparing a shawl collar tutorial, and more or less 7 years ago I posted my first ever YouTube tutorial on here, and it's sort of been quite a journey, so I thought I'd use this time to share why I posted a shawl collar tutorial 7 years ago, how I've moved on, why I'm now creating more videos, lots of stuff. So yeah, 7 years ago, I just finished working as a designer and pattern cutter, and I was teaching fashion and pattern cutting at sort of post A-level, which in the UK is, we have a fantastic system. Well, I think it's fantastic because I taught on it now. I went through the same system. It's basically after you've done your schools, you can do a free 1-year course in art and design, where you can try lots of different stuff before you decide what BA to do, or whether you want to do something else. And I taught on that course, and I needed something which you could easily teach in a few hours and people would get a result. Because when I started, when I did my foundation a long time ago now, nearly 20 years, the first thing we did was a pair of knickers. And you just think, it's actually a really tricky thing to do. It's not something you're going to do a photo shoot or sketchbook about. 20 years ago, there wasn't actually any sort of, nowadays there's quite a lot of amazing underwear designers, but back then it was really limited. So it was quite an off-putting tutorial to start your intro to fashion. So I wanted to create something which, sorry, this has gone completely haywire, shouldn't multitask. But I wanted to create something which people could create a style in 3 hours, learn something about drafting and sewing, use sewing machines, get all the foundations of making garments and make a garment and add your own design choices in 3 hours. So I started with the shawl collar. And then I made my first ever YouTube tutorial just to show students who might have missed it, or the great thing about YouTube, and I still love it, and online learning, is that you can always pause. So if you do a face-to-face lesson, if you have a group of 20 or 30 people, some people, everybody learns differently. And if you're in a group of 30, it's quite hard to say, oh, sorry, I don't get it. Can you please repeat it? So I thought an online video would be really nice. So you can just stop it when you need to. You can rewatch it. And I used to give it to students before the first lesson, so that way they can watch already. So suddenly a pattern master wouldn't be completely alien to them when they came in, and they sort of would know what I was talking about, and then they could refresh themselves. So I made the first ever video. I'm going to go through it with you in a second because it's quite funny. It was very rustic, and over years I did a few more tutorials, and then I just stopped because life was just too busy. But then recently I was lucky enough that my friend Simon, who I work with, suggested that we do some more of them. And so we did. And that's why I'm here 7 years later, making another tutorial for you. And I hope you like it. I think I've gotten a bit better. And that's actually an amazing thing over the last 7 years, because I've taught in real life, but also I've sort of connected with lots of you. And a lot of you on certain things I probably know more, but a lot of other things you know a lot more than me. So I've really had to up my game over the last 7 years. Because if you're only teaching 19-year-olds, you can expect there's a sort of, like some are actually amazing what they know already, but there's a certain sort of general level. But if you're suddenly sharing tutorials with people who've been doing things a lot longer and better than you, then you have to really up your game and actually really think about how can I make it clear. And also for myself, I think of now with like iPhones editing, it's a lot easier to be very clear and precise and not have squeaky mannequins. Still squeaky. I need to oil my mannequin. But anyway, let's have a look at the original video and see how far I've come in 7 years. So that was me 7 years ago. I was very lucky. I had a very patient photography colleague who actually set up a whole studio for me and then just left me to myself, because if you're doing it for the first time, it's sort of quite embarrassing. And I always find it really hard, photography and sort of all that sort of presentation. As though a strong point. I think I like to just do things. While with photography, you have to sort of get the lighting right and all that sort of stuff. There's lots of setting up and thinking before you actually do the making. So I've always shied away from it. So it's really good that somebody helped me the first time. And then you can tell, I have no idea of how to actually show it. So I'm in front of the bodice block. The paper is just taped onto the whiteboard. I'm dropping stuff and picking stuff up. So I've certainly come a long way. Only thing I'm still not very good at is lighting. Especially, I still haven't worked out 100% how to get rid of the glare of, you can see the big lights behind me. And actually, I love the lights now. I use them for sewing all the time because they're so bright. But yes, trying to figure out how not to get glare on my glasses or on my trusty pattern master is near on impossible. So thank you for bearing with me on that one. One of the things I've learned in 7 years is that calico on the internet just doesn't have a lot of contrast. But then I'm also, I don't know if I'm frugal, but I hate wasting things, because I think especially if I'm making stuff for YouTube's only, I don't want to, buy new fabric and waste it, and I'm not gonna wear it. So I always use scrap fabric. So it's some very odd polyester. You see it's got a shiny underside. And then the collar is actually some really nice scrap of Indian, very fine cotton lawn. So I thought that's a nice contrast for the collar. And I just realised, can you see how dodgy my line is? So I hope you forgive me. I rushed it a bit. But you can see it's still a nice fit. I would probably shape it a bit more. But yes, shawl collars is still my favourite. We have learned not to make my own calico anymore. So that's it from me and my shawl collar. Thank you very much for watching. Some of you now have been here for 7 years with me and we've improved our pattern cutting skills together. And yeah, I just love sharing skills and learning from you, because lots of people over the years have been very generous to me with their knowledge. So I love sharing what I've learned and learning new stuff too. So here's to another 7 years on YouTube and learning and drafting together. Bye. So that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into why I got into shawl collars. If you do, I'd love a thumbs up from you, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on drafting, and I'll see you next time.